Hi guys, happy Wednesday. I can't see very well because that sun's in my eyes. Okay, here we go. Hello. Okay, so how are you doing today? How has your week been? How was Monday? Monday was day one of a challenge that we're doing over in the Soul Relaunch. By the way, my name's Nikki. I'm a soul care and mindset coach for moms who have recently experienced an awakening or possibly a traumatic experience that left them questioning everything that they thought was true in their life. Okay, so also, if you just start in this, you've been disconnected from your light, from your spark, from that spark in life, like meaning, right? Of us wanting to have meaning in our life, to wake up every day and whatnot. And so, because sometimes, we can get depressed, right? So I struggled with depression, anxiety, addiction for about over 15 years. And then I took control of my mind. And of course, I'm still always going to be working on those things, right? I'm always going to be recovering. I'm always going to be paying attention to what is of the highest good for me. And also everyone in my space. And so I show up with love, and that has been the best medicine for me in my life. The moment that I began to choose love over fear, it was just a game changer. And then also the moment that I realized all these beliefs that I'd grown up to believe were like rock solid, right? The way everybody thinks. And if you're from a small town, say hello. I'm from a small town because small town beliefs and growing up in a small town is amazing. Don't get me wrong. Like, I absolutely love it. I would never change it for the world. But if you are from a small town, you know that sometimes there's smaller minds. And so it takes a little extra effort to expand the mind. And so today we're on day 3 of a challenge that is going on in my private Facebook group, the Soul Relaunch Society, for women who are ready to take control of their life, take their power back, reconnect with their light. And so day 1, Monday, was about our stories, our thoughts. And so after many years of studying the mind and working with people and coaching them, I have had something that I always fall back. I always start in this one place, and that is with mindfulness and getting present and taking control of starting to work that focus muscle of getting out of the past where we are in depression, what didn't happen, the choices that we made that we wish we had made differently, the regret, which I highly recommend watching day 1 of the challenge. You can watch it over in the Soul Relaunch Society. I'll leave the link above or below or wherever I'm at here. And then watch, there's some I have a couple crystal healing rituals for regret, negativity, stress. Smoky quartz is the only crystal. If you have one crystal in your life, make it be smoky quartz. It will do whatever you want to do. It is the one that keeps us grounded. So we really started in the root chakra on Monday. I'm also an energy healer. I work with your energy. I work with my energy, and then I work with your energy, but I'm just a channel, right, for source, for life force energy. That's what I am. So you're getting a little bit of that today as you watch this video, okay? Bonus. So, day 2, yesterday. Once we go over our thoughts, we begin to notice our language. So that's why we start with mindfulness, always, of getting in the present moment and slowing down, right? It's about slowing down and just observing your life. And then you start to notice that there are these stories that you just repeated to yourself over and over. Like, you've created your reality around these beliefs and stories and thoughts, and they've ingrained in your mind. Like, it's crazy how we believe our thoughts, right? Nobody told us that our thoughts were not facts all the time. Like they weren't always coming from a place of love, right? Our ego, we have egoic thoughts. And so anyway, that's what we use discernment, and that's what we practice, and that's what I teach with my coaching, is to practice discernment between what is a good thought and what's not a good thought. Like what is for me and what isn't. So that was day one, and you're really trying to get away, because another question that I get is like, how do you know when a thought or a story is like one to shift, right? Like how do you do this work? Which is why I highly recommend working with a coach or a mentor of some sort that can kind of walk you through this process, because it does take, like, we can bounce this off of each other. At least that's for me. That was my experience. That's how I found this industry. My dad died, and I found an intuitive life coach, and it just changed my life. So anyway, back to this. And so how to know is so let's just do a little role playing here. All right. So say that you're talking to your friend. You run into an old friend, and this old friend is like, "Hey, how you doing, bud? What you been up to? How's life?" And you say, "Oh, just working, taking care of the kids, and, working, coming home, cooking dinner, doing the same things over and over. That's really all I ever do. I mean, who has time, right? We're older now. Who has time for themselves?" All right. And so then your friend is like, "Oh, okay. Well, what is it that, what do you do on, besides that?" And if you say, "Well, who has time for that?" Well, that's a limiting thought. Okay. So anything that's limiting you from spending time with yourself, anything that's limiting you to not be of the highest good of you, or that's where we get stressed and drained, because we're go all the time. Sorry guys, somebody keeps trying to call me. I didn't put on do not disturb. And so also in your conversation, so Monday it was to stay mindful of your conversations when you noticed that you are saying, for example, well, what would you rather be doing than going to work and taking care or whatever, right? What would you rather be doing? If you act like that's such a drag. This was an actual conversation one time. And we don't notice how much of a drag we're being until somebody else tells us, okay? Really, I mean, it's tough love. And so when someone says, "Well, what would you rather be doing?" and you say, "Well, I'd love to do this thing. I'd love to sell homes or get my realty license or whatever, or I'd love to start a business like selling bows or whatever." And then you say, but I can't because blah, 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 blah. Okay. That's the limiting thought. Okay. I'd love to start a business, but I don't have enough money and I don't have enough time. That's a limiting thought, because honestly, resources are everywhere. Okay. If you want something bad enough, you're going to make it happen. And that's my belief, and that's what I've seen. That's a belief because I see evidence of it. I've seen evidence of things happening and just coming to us when we want something really, really bad, and we make sure that our vibration is up. Which, by the way, that's coming up here in a second. We're talking about manifestation. But right now, we got to get your mind under control. And so when you find those limiting stories, you stop yourself and just write it down. Okay? That's it. You don't even have to think of any further than that. So if you're in the beginning of your journey, that's what I suggest that you do, is just stay mindful of the stories and the thoughts and the words that you're using, the phrases that you're saying, okay? So day 2, yesterday, was about healing, okay? And there are 5 levels, or actually 6 levels to wholeness. That's what healing is. We're trying to come back to a place of wholeness. Come back to that connection. We're reconnecting with our higher self, with that higher part of us. And so the physical parts, right? Actually, here's the flow. It starts on a spiritual level. All of our illnesses and dis-ease, and drama in our life, any type of dis-ease at all. Drama is dis-ease too. That's what I think. Starts on the spiritual level. We get disconnected from who we are. And then that leads to a thought of like, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy of having these good things, right? And so we start thinking all that stuff. And then that leads to feeling. Thoughts create feelings. And so then we start to feel depressed and just like, crazy or whatever. We hide it, but we are not happy, right? And then as time goes on, right, we shove that down, we go to work, we do the things to be happy and have this mask on. And then what happens is that emotion gets trapped in our body, and that energy, emotion is energy in motion, doesn't have anywhere to go. And so it gets stuck. Okay, and we have meridians, which are like blood vessels for energy. And another key right here, if you got the first one of slowing down and getting present, the second like key to living an amazing life is relaxing. If you got to relax in order for your meridians to expand, and then that energy can flow. Okay. And again, we go way deeper into all this in the Soul Relaunch. So I will leave the link there so you can come over there, because I already know you want to be in it. Because you're missing out. I'm just kidding. You're not missing out. You're exactly where you need to be. So as that gets stuck, if you don't take care of it, if you don't, share how you feel, if you don't write it down, if you don't scream, if you don't allow this to go in or out of you, then it turns into dis-ease. It manifests into a physical illness. Okay, that is how sickness happens, or that's how diseases happen. That's how then we need to heal. And so yesterday was about releasing trapped emotions, and we do that. We start to dislodge emotions by talking about it, or allowing that emotion to come up, or share about it, journal about it, something. Just bring it to the forefront to where it is, you can see it. Because our emotions, if they're not seen, right, they want to be seen, just like people, humans. We want to be seen. We want somebody to provide a safe place for us to really see us for who we are. And then when somebody gives that beautiful gift to us, or that happens, then we are like a new person, right? It's like falling in love with somebody, right? And so that is what an emotion wants. And how do you find these? You look at your triggers throughout your day. So day 1, stay mindful of what you're saying and your stories and everything, and what your thoughts are doing. And then day 2 is you you stay mindful of your triggers. Hence, mindful mornings. Okay? Today, now that brings us to today. Intuition. We're going to get into the fun stuff, because that's clearing out the clutter to your soul with your shifting the beliefs around and clearing a healing, okay, releasing trapped emotions, and then that creates this clear channel for information to come in, because your intuition is your inner guidance. It is your higher guidance, right? You have your spiritual beliefs, but your intuition is this part of you that knows everything. It is that little nudge, okay, your instincts will kick in when, you have an intuitive yes and you have intuitive no. And I learned this from Megan Wiseman, an intuitive mentor that I've worked with. And so she taught us how to do the intuitive yes, intuitive no. And not to get too technical, and it can get really, I want to keep things easy. Just today, pay attention to what is like a hell yes for you and what's a hell no for you. Like, you feel it. And that is what you're doing in day 1 and day 2, is you are reconnecting with your mind, body, and soul. Of course, we do breath work, we do some meditation, we do energy work, right? To help you with all of that, Reiki, stuff like that. And then we also have the Western medicine type of, if you have a therapist, or if you have medicine that you take for depression, it's okay. Okay. I want to tell you, it's okay. Do not be shameful because you have to take medicine for depression or anxiety. Like, I applaud you, because you're actually attempting and trying to be a productive member of society. Also, you are making sure that you provide a good environment for your children, okay? Because I know you're a parent if you're in my space. So let me take a drink real quick. So now on day 3 with intuition, it's time to get into alignment. And that is what we do in my coaching program, or in my signature method of what I do with everyone that comes in my space, okay? And that is, the intuition is like the guidance to getting back on track, okay? It's that, and what it is you have to feel it in order to, really follow it. You have to be able to tap into it. And when you have so many limiting stories and trapped emotions, and you're depressed, and you can't think of anything except for these situations that are just horrible in your life, right? Things not going right. And so that you can't focus, and where focus goes, energy flows. And that's the absolute truth. There's just no other way to say it. And so as you're focusing on those things, you're making them bigger. And so that's why with mindfulness, getting present. And so now today with intuition, we can lighten it up a little bit. And now we actually want to raise our vibration. And we do that by finding things, or are we happy? What makes us happy? Where's our happy place when we feel joy? Okay. Maybe it is hanging with your friends, going to play pool or something. I don't know. Maybe it is taking a walk. Maybe it is coloring. Maybe it's painting. And it doesn't have to be anything you're doing. Maybe it's just sitting on the front porch, listening to the birds, whatever it is, but something that just allows you to go, something healthy, fellow people who are recovering from an addiction, okay? Healthy that for you, okay? Because, we like to reach for things just that are going to make us feel good and give us instant gratification. And so in an addiction, that's what we're trying to, it's a muscle. We have to get out of that wanting instant gratification. So intuition, back to this. We want to get into alignment with who we are, right? So our identity, get into alignment with our mindset, like what are the beliefs that we're going to have, or we have, as when we show up as our best self, right? We're not going to believe that we're not capable of something. We're not going to believe that, nobody wants to watch our lives. Like if I got on here and was like, oh my gosh, everybody better watch my lives. And if I see nobody up here and I would just start, like, I'd just get off, like, would that do anything for anyone? No, I have a message I want to share. I want to teach. I want to help people feel better because I did it with my mind. I want to help people have empowerment of the fact that they can co-create their reality, okay? So with intuition, before we go on to manifestation today I want to suggest, or the coaching task for you is to follow what lights you up. Like, what makes you excited? Do you like to create things? Do you like to, whatever? What is it that you like to do? Follow that. Because what happens is when we start to do something that is just fun, like, oh my gosh, I love this, and instead of like thinking like, oh my gosh, I have to be here at work, if we can at least make fun out of it, and then our vibration rises, and then guess what happens when we do that? Then we start attracting the same vibration, the same type of mindset, the same type of energies, right? The opportunities that match it. Friends, situations, whatever, jobs that match who it is that we are growing into. And so today, I really, really ask for you to like sit down and look at the parts of you that just don't serve you anymore. Or like, what is parts of your identity that used to be a part of your identity? Maybe people tied you to that. So for me, it was addiction, right? Like, I'm from a small town, so pretty much everybody knows everybody's business. And so I had to shift that story in my mind to tell a new story. Instead of saying I'm a recovering addict, I say I am recovering from an addiction. So just changing your verbiage, right, around things that you really feel attached to, that it defines who you are, so you're never going to make it further in life because you've done that thing. I don't know, whatever it was. It's time to let that go. That's what day 1 and day 2 are for. And then today, start paying attention and tap into your body. Connect your mind with your heart. And you do that with breathing. So let's just go ahead and do this. Like, just take a deep breath in through your nose. And you just have your belly goes out, okay? Your chest goes up. And then when you exhale, like a balloon, it just deflates. Let's do it again. So you're going to breathe in. And open up your chest if you have to, and then exhale. And you're just going to do that 3 times. Do you notice a shift already? Like, it's just so like, okay, I'm good. And there's many more techniques that I have that I teach and we're over there doing, and that I'm even taught on a daily basis from the women in my space. And so yes, that's the challenge for today, is to follow what lights you up and pay attention to what parts of you are no longer serving you. We're going to get rid of some of that identity. We're going to shift it around, create new stories that are true, but shifting the perception. All right. So tomorrow we're going to talk about manifestation and creating a vision. because until you have all this other stuff done, it just makes it real more smooth, okay, to transition, to start actually practicing. It's called Realitology. Realitology 101. I love it. I can't wait to share it with you. And so I will post this. I'll put all of this up at the top so you know exactly what the coaching task is. And of course, I invite you to a one-on-one. It's a free 30 minutes where we can get clear on what it is that your soul superpowers are. You know you have them. We all use soul superpowers. For one's relaxation. That's a superpower. But you have special gifts, and they're called like the clairs, intuitive gifts. We'll get into that too, but right now I got to end this training because I don't want to go too much into it. But today, just pay attention to what excites you, like what makes you happy or makes you feel good, like accepted and not judged, and that you're actually enjoying yourself. Like, pay attention to those things. All right. So I will see you tomorrow for day 4. Have a wonderful day. Bye.